Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie Bree and today I'm doing a list of my top 25 musical acts of all time. This will be solo musicians as well as bands and other types of musical acts. Mostly solo musicians and bands. So I listen to a lot of music, and as you're going to find out, there's some similarities to the vast majority of the music I listen to, but there might be some surprises. This isn't just my most played music, this is the music that's the most personal to me. The only thing that's missing from this list is my all time favorite song, but I'm going to do a separate list of my top 25 favorite songs of all time, or greatest songs of all time. But that'll be down the road because I don't want to do too many lists all at once. So let's go ahead and get started. Number 25 is Beck. Now, obviously, um, I was born in 1982. I was a teenager in the 1990s, so I grew up listening to 90s alternative, and Beck was the 90s alternative I liked. I wasn't into the grunge, so I didn't listen to Nirvana. I didn't listen to Stone Temple Pilots, or I don't even know the names of the Red Hot Chili Peppers or whoever. I didn't listen to that shit. I just didn't, and I still to this day I hardly don't. But I really liked Beck. Now, the very first Beck CD I ever bought was Odelay. And I bought it because of the single, New Pollution. But I actually liked the rest of the CD. Pretty much the whole CD. There are a couple of tracks that I would skip when I would listen to the CD. But for the most part, I would just let it play through. Number 24 is Cake. Cake is basically the band version of Beck. Beck is like the one man band. Cake is like if Beck was a band. Same kind of music, same kind of thing. 90s alternative, like just kind of weird stuff, hard to categorize. Now, song for song, I listen to more Beck than I do Cake, but there are two or three songs that I enjoy, Cake songs that I enjoy, just that much more than I enjoy the Beck songs. So even though I like more Beck songs, I like the Cake songs that I like more than I like the Beck songs than I like, if that makes sense. Number 23 is Quad City DJs. Now, this is indicative of my personal taste. This is kind of sort of hip hop, but it's also kind of sort of techno slash dance, electronica. Not really electronica, but it's not really. It's kind of techno in a roundabout way, but that's only if you're being a purist. It's more, they classify it as bass music, specifically, or big beat. But it's hip hop, it's techno, it's a blend of the two. I got the Quad City DJ CD when I was 16 years old. Got it for my birthday. My dad gave me a 5 disc CD changer for my 15th birthday, and he bought me 5 CDs to go with. Well, my mom and dad, I should say, my parents got me 5 CDs to go with it. And Quad City DJs, Get On Up and Dance was one of the CDs they got me. And this is another one where, for the most part, I like every song on the album. Now, the two songs that I do not like, number one is The Bass, which is just then repeating the bass over and over and over and over again 100 times, which is really boring. The other one I don't like is Coming Right at the Train, number one, the first version of Coming Right at the Train, the radio edit. I prefer the dance edit, which is number 13 on the album. The one that sounds more like a techno kind of song. But I would pretty much listen to the whole CD from start to finish. Number 22 is the Spice Girls. I don't really have to explain the Spice Girls, who they are. They're a girl band. They're the female version of fucking Backstreet Boys or NSYNC or whatever. And I really like them. I had their CD. I bought it the day it came out. I couldn't wait for it. I had the single of Wannabe before the CD came out. And when the CD came out, I bought the CD the day it came out, so I didn't wait. And I listened to the shit out of it, and I literally liked 100% of the album. Some of my top 25 favorite songs of all time, one or two of them are probably going to be Spice Girls. Number 21 is Garbage, the band Garbage. Now, when I was a teenager, these would have ranked this band would have ranked higher on my list because this was one of my favorite bands. There was a time where this was literally my favorite band of all time, but I've kind of, I don't want to say I've outgrown them, but as I've gone through therapy and I've transitioned and I've gotten on medication, I have kind of gotten to the point where I don't need them as much as I used to. Because Garbage is very much depressing music, and it's music you listen to when you're depressed. So I'm not really depressed as much as I used to be, so I don't listen to them as much as I used to. Number 20 is The Offspring. This is probably the only punk rock band on my list. It's the one punk rock band I like the most, and I have 5 of their CDs. I have over 300 CDs in my collection, actual physical CDs. They're put up right now, but I do have them. And actually, they're sitting in a storage shed, but I'll get them back one of these days. And I like The Offspring. I like most of their songs. I can't say I've never heard a bad Offspring song, because I have, but I haven't heard that many bad Offspring songs. Number 19 is Marilyn Manson. I don't give a fuck if he's controversial. I don't give a fuck. I like his music. I listen to Antichrist Superstar all day long. I literally listen to The Beautiful People every single day. There's not a day that goes by I don't listen to The Beautiful People. It's one of my all-time favorite songs. And I'm going to keep listening to it because that song, it just speaks to me on a level I can't really explain. Number 18 is Madonna. Now, when I was making this list, I kind of thought I was going to rank Madonna higher because I listen to a lot of Madonna, but I realized I don't listen to a lot of her songs. She's only got a handful of songs I like. I just listen to those same songs on repeat over and over again. I do like Madonna as a singer and kind of as a person. I don't know her as a person, but I mean, from what I do know about her, she seems like an okay person. But she's got a lot of songs I don't like. And I don't own very many of her. I actually only own one of her CDs, and it's Like a Virgin. It's the only one of her CDs I own. The rest of her songs I bought digitally on iTunes. Because I only have a handful of her songs I like. Number 17 is No Doubt. Now, there was a time where No Doubt would have been my number 2, right behind Garbage. But No Doubt is... there. Okay, when I said The Offspring was the only punk rock band on this list, I meant the only pure punk rock band, because No Doubt is kind of sort of punk, but they're really ska. And I know ska is a subgenre of punk, but, we're nitpicking at this point. No Doubt, I have The Tragic Kingdom. I got that CD when it was new. Not like the day it came out, but I got it when it was still new and current and fresh. And I listened to it, and I literally like every track on it. But I only like The Tragic Kingdom. I've listened to all their other songs. Did nothing for me. But The Tragic Kingdom, great album. I love every minute of it. Number 16, Snoop Doggy Dogg. Now, I don't put Snoop Dogg on the list, specifically Snoop Doggy Dogg. And he only released 2 albums under that name. Doggy Style and The Dogfather. Those are my 2 favorite Snoop Dogg albums. And my favorite, of course, is Doggy Style. I got it when I was 11 years old, so I was not old enough to be listening to gangster rap, but I did. True story, my parents found it, played the first 20 seconds of the intro, and they broke it in front of me. That didn't stop me from buying it again, getting it broken again, getting my ass beat, buying it a third time. This kept going up because I was going to keep buying this fucking album, and I didn't care how many times my parents broke it. I was just going to keep buying this fucking album. Number 15 is Mariah Carey. Now, Mariah Carey is the closest thing I listen to that you would classify as R&B. I'm not a big fan of blues. I don't like moody music. I don't like love songs. I don't like slow songs. But I really like Butterfly, the album Butterfly. And I really like the song My All, which is her ballad. It's the only ballad I actually like. Out of all the ballads in the world, My All is literally the only one I like. So Mariah Carey made the list. Number 14 is Lady Gaga, and I wrestled with even putting her on the list because I only like 4 of her songs. I loved her in House of Gucci. I loved that movie. Have it on DVD. Watched it in the theaters. Um, but her music, yes, yes, I'm a queer woman, and so she's got that song "Born This Way," which is kind of our anthem. But I'm not into new music. Most of my music is from like either the 80s or up until about 2003, 2004. Not a lot from the 80s. Most of it's from the 90s, as you probably figured out by now. Lady Gaga is a little too new for me, but those four songs that she does that I really, really like, I like enough, she made the list. Number 13 is Belinda Carlisle. I like three songs by Belinda Carlisle, but I like those three songs so much that I had to put her on the list because I listen to Circle in the Sand almost every day. I might go a couple of days without listening to it, but I listen to it so much it's way overplayed on my playlist. I listen to a lot of Belinda Carlisle. Not a lot of like by volume, but I listen to her three songs a lot. I listen to those three songs so much. Number 12 is Debbie Gibson. So when I joined the I don't remember what it was. Columbia House, I think it was. CD Club. I think it was the Columbia House CD Club. Um, Debbie Gibson's Greatest Hits was one of the free CDs I got when I signed up. And I loved every minute of it. I loved every track on that album. My favorite two favorite songs by her are Electric Youth, which I listen to I'd say 3 or 4 times a week, not every day, but most days. And Anything Is Possible, which I do try to listen to every day because it's like my feel good song. So I really like Debbie Gibson. Number 11 is Real McCoy. Now, Real McCoy is another one where I only like some of their songs, but they have one song in particular, Automatic Lover, which is the one I listen to daily because it's on my feel good playlist. And it's one of the ones that helps me battle depression because it lifts me up. The rest of their songs are kind of hit or miss, but I really love Automatic Lover. Number 10 is Kiss. Kiss is the only quote unquote classic rock on the list, which is kind of weird, but I do really like Kiss, and I mostly like them because of their image, because I'm a horror fan and they look like a horror band. Not so much their music, although I do like some of their music. I'm more into them as a band, as an aesthetic, than I am their actual music, but they did make the list. Number 9 is ABBA. When I was a kid, my dad had ABBA Gold. It was the CD that he had, and he played it a lot, and I fell in love with ABBA early on. My favorite song by ABBA is Gimme, 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 and I do listen to it a lot. I actually was listening to it like an hour ago. So that's one of my favorite songs of all time. I really love ABBA. They're good dance music. I used to be a break dancer. I loved past tense dancing. I can't do it anymore because I broke my foot. And it never healed, so I walk with a cane, so I cannot dance anymore, but I still like to listen to dance music. Number 8 is Technotronic. Technotronic is one of those early techno when it was techno was still more hip hop than electronic, but it was still electronic. Technotronic, Pump Up the Jam, the album, was the very first cassette I ever bought. Ever. When I got a CD player, it was the very first CD I bought. I really love Technotronic, the album. For the most part, I like every song on the CD. There's a couple songs that I skip, but usually I just let the CD play all the way through. Number 7 is Ace of Base. I own 3 Ace of Base CDs. I think they did 4. I own The Sign, The Bridge, and Cruel Summer. I love literally every track on The Sign. I love all but 3 tracks on the bridge, and I like every track except for the Cruel Summer remix on Cruel Summer. So I really like Ace of Base. I like a lot. By volume, I like a lot of their songs, and by preference, I like the songs of theirs that I like. I really, 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 really like. Number 6 is DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, but this also includes Will Smith. I have every CD that Will Smith has headlined. So I have every single CD that was released under the banner DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, but I also have every CD that was released under the Will Smith banner. I can't say I like literally every song they did, but I like enough songs on every one of those CDs that they had to make the list because I like the vast majority of the songs they did. Number 5 is the B-52s. This is another one that makes the list for 2 songs. I literally only like these 2 songs by the band. I like. There's a couple of songs that I'm like are okay, but they're not like my favorite. But number 1 is Channel Z, and number 2 obviously is Love Shack. I listen to either or once a day. Sometimes I'll listen to Channel Z, sometimes I'll listen to Love Shack, but I listen to one or the other literally every day. Today, it was Love Shack. I can't get enough of those 2 songs. Number 4, I cheated, and I put Jock Jams. Now, technically, Jock Jams isn't a band, but as a production released by Tommy Boy Records, there are tracks on the Jock Jams CDs that are by the Jock Jams crew that are called like Jock Jams Mega Mix or Jock Jams whatever. There are actual tracks by Jock Jams. But I literally own every one of the Jock Jams CDs. I own Slam Jams. I own all 3 of the Jock Rock CDs. I have every... I am 1,000% obsessed with Jock Jams. I listen to it a lot. It's like my daily playlist is 75% Jock Jams. Number 3 is Britney Spears. Britney Spears is another one where I only like a couple, 2 or 3 songs from each of her CDs, but I like 2 or 3 songs from like 5 of her CDs, so by volume that's a lot. But the songs of hers that I do like, I like a lot. Especially If You Seek Amy and Circus. I love those 2 songs. They're probably my 2 favorite Britney Spears songs, but I listen to a lot of her songs. Number 2 is the Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys is another one I own. Every CD that they've put out, including the EPs, including their punk rock stuff, everything. Even their greatest hits albums. They've done like 2 or 3 greatest hits albums. I have them all. Even though I've already owned every track that's on them through various albums. I love to support the Beastie Boys. I actually bought some of their concerts on DVD. I bought their music video collection on DVD. I had a VHS cassette of one of their concerts back in the day, back when VHS was the thing. The Beastie Boys is like... There was a time where Beastie Boys would have been number 1 or Garbage would have number 1. I kind of want to flip-flop back and forth, but Beastie Boys is number 2 because I just love them so much. Number 1, favorite musician of all time. I listen to her daily. She's never done a song I don't like. I literally like every song she has. I have a whole playlist of literally every song she's done. She just put out a new album yesterday. Literally just yesterday. Kylie Minogue. I cannot get enough Kylie Minogue. She is my all-time favorite musician. I listen to her not just daily, multiple times a day. There are some days where I literally just listen to only Kylie Minogue and nothing else. But I will listen to a good 10 to 15 Kylie Minogue songs every single day. And I'm random songs. It's not the same 15 songs. It's literally I put her playlist on, I put it on shuffle, and I let her sing to me. Kylie Minogue is my all-time favorite musician. And yeah, that's my music.